mental illness be a cause worth supporting? We're going to find out today thanks to my guests, Enza Checchia and Benny Caringi, coming to us all the way from Woodbridge in Canada. Thank you so much for being on this show today.
Thank you for having us.
Krizia.
Well, Enza and Benny, you are the co-founders of Hats On for Awareness, and I wanted to understand, what was this organization and why did you start it?
Well, the organization is about raising awareness about mental illness and addiction, and someday our dream is to eradicate the stigma that's associated with it so that people will speak just as freely about mental illness and addiction in a way that they speak about cancer or diabetes or leukemia or any other illnesses that they're affected with.
Okay. Why do you feel that there's a stigma attached to mental illness? I mean, there are a few years, or actually maybe a few decades, maybe years is too short, but a few decades ago, when somebody died of cancer, we really didn't say it was cancer. And in the same way, mental illness, sometimes it's hidden, or we kind of, use other words or other terms. Why do you think it's not out in the open the way cancer is and other illnesses, diabetes, etc.?
I think a big part of that is it's an illness that's really, we don't understand it. We don't understand what causes it. And it's when you don't understand something, it's not black and white, you tend to kind of run away from it or just try to not deal with it. So like cancer, somebody tells you they have cancer, well, the doctors will tell you how to treat it and what have you. When you have a mental illness, it's not quite the same. It's not like, well, take a drug and you'll feel better. There's so many complications to the illness that we don't understand. So the whole part of raising awareness is really education to understand so that we can actually openly talk about it. Once you can talk about it, that's a huge part of the recovery.
Okay.
So you can actually sit there and talk to friends and family. So then that opens up a support structure from within, and so you don't feel so embarrassed. The stigma is, you've been told where if you don't, not feeling well mentally, we all say, well, snap out of it, get over it. Well, it's not quite that simple. You can't just get over cancer, so why can we just get over a mental illness, right? And that's the stigma that it's really starting to grow. But we have a long road ahead of us, but we're definitely on the right path.
Okay. So, other than being extraordinarily stylish, there's another reason why you're wearing these hats, and it's really part of your logo. It's part of your brand. So it would be interesting to understand why that came about and why you chose the hat as the symbol.
Well, it's really not a surprise. We did it very consciously, and the whole idea was turning around the whole idea that when you're ill with something that you don't want to share, you might hide, the incognito, sunglasses, hat, to try and disguise yourself. And we felt, let's take that same thing and make it festive, and let's put it on to actually talk about having the illness, not hiding behind it. So, and it's been quite successful.
Okay. Well, I'm sure. I mean, your fascinator looks phenomenal, and Benny, you look stylish as like crazy. But I wanted to.
Enza, don't you know?
Exactly. I think some people are watching this and they're thinking, well, okay, I'm sorry, I'm lost. This is, I'm an entrepreneur. This is supposed to be a business show. Why are we talking about mental illness? I just want to know about strategies to help, move my business forward. But the reality is there's some interesting numbers, and I'll let you share them, about mental illness. And the illness affects a lot of us, and affects our daily lives, our businesses, the relationships we have with our families, with our friends. So we could definitely choose to ignore the signs, or we can become aware that some of the mood swings that we have, or some of the ways we're feeling, maybe just more than, it's just, I'm not feeling that great today. Can you talk about some of the numbers? That some of them are a little scary, actually.
Well, you bring up a great point. I mean, in Canada alone, I think the numbers were close to $51 billion lost with employees, 51 billion with a B, lost with employees missing work.
$51 billion?
Billion.